and welcome to 9 on the Positive Side. Thanks so much for joining us today. One North Carolina artist is helping paint the town. Chad Tucker shows us his work and his larger-than-life canvas.
But I knew I enjoyed capturing faces. You know, I was intrigued by, people's expressions and things like that.
Leo Rucker doesn't work a day when he's got his paintbrush in hand.
Nah, this ain't a job for me. My wife would tell you that. My friends, my family, well, they would say, well, you crazy, you need to get a real job.
His talent started early, with a career mostly focusing on portraits. But in recent years, his canvas is a lot bigger.
I've been doing this, for 30-something years, and just the opportunity really didn't present itself not until the last 3 years.
And his work can be found across Winston-Salem.
This paint will last just like any paint that you buy from Home Depot.
But this recent project is home.
So everybody that's going to be on this wall will be Atkins, alumni.
He grew up right around the corner.
So I grew up here. My parents moved to this area from Lexington when I was 5 years old.
Yeah, so Mr. Leo, he's a traditional artist, he uses brushes.
So here, I just do layers.
And the layers of beauty are right across the street from the original Atkins High School, with the faces of community leaders who made a difference.
It was an opportunity for me to take these stories, these individuals, and turn it into an outside conversation. So this is my palette.
A conversation that has many stopping to take it in.
You deal with the elements outside. I'll have to say we don't really realize how many people pay attention to what we do and how it helps them understand the richness of a community that they live in.
In Winston-Salem, look at Roy's folks.
People would have called it graffiti.
Chad Tucker.
So they get paid to do what they love to do.
One Facebook group is giving back to teachers all across eastern North Carolina. The Onslow County Adopt a Teacher Facebook page is a way for people to buy school supplies and send them to teachers who need them. Teachers share their Amazon wish list on that page. Then people can help stock up their classrooms before the next school year rolls around.
If you don't have a huge budget, that's fine. Choose a $5 item, a pack of pencils. That pack of pencils is going to bless those teachers more than you would ever think a pack of pencils would.
If you want to help out to find more about the Adopt a Teacher Facebook page, we have you covered over on our website, WNCT.com. At Lenoir Community College now, ACE Academy kicked off. It's opening middle and high school students to careers in aviation and aerospace. During the camp, students will learn about the history of flight, what aviation careers look like, and they also get to visit those places.
It gives more information. Not everyone knows about a career in aviation and how many things that you can really do with aviation. So a lot of what we do is with workforce development and trying to get people excited about the fact that there are so many jobs that we can do.
The students say if you were not able to join them this year, you should definitely try to come out next summer. Some people along the Crystal Coast are picking up their farm fresh produce. One stop for many is the famous Bogue Sound watermelons, perfect for the summer. 9 on your Side's Claire Curry has more from farmers on how this season is going.
Well, Bogue Sound watermelon is known far away. About anywhere you go, you mention Bogue Sound watermelon and they know exactly what you're talking about.
Farmer Alan Willis is the president of the Bogue Sound Watermelon Growers Association. He says these popular melons are known because of their high sugar content due to the location of where they're grown.
It's the sandy soil, well-drained soil that we have here in Carteret County, along with the sunshine and the sea breeze. It's a whole lot sweeter.
Willis says they tend to their watermelons every day, constantly checking on them and restocking their produce stands.
We have to start the seedlings out in the greenhouse and grow our plants to a transplantable size, then come through the field when the weather gets warm enough.
With options of seeded, seedless, and yellow Bogue Sound watermelons, sales have been going well so far this season.
We have a lot of folks that plan a vacation around the Bogue Sound watermelon so they can take some back home with them.
One local to the area says he's been buying Bogue Sound watermelons for over 30 years and refuses to buy anything else.
Best you've ever had. They'll make your hands sticky. They're so good and sweet. I mean, the Bogue Sound, you can't beat them. Nowhere.
And that was 9 on your side's Claire Curry reporting. The Bogue Sound watermelon season will continue on until just after Labor Day. She's calling it an exceptional find. Meet the UNC professor who has helped making ancient discoveries. And a little later, one veteran is helping Ukrainians fight their war against Russia. How he's using his military training to help out. A UNC professor and her team are making new discoveries at a 1,600-year-old archaeological site in Israel. Among the most recent old findings are what you're seeing right there, these old mosaics. They're just some of the well-preserved items that have been found over the last decade. Now, some of those mosaics list the name of either the artist or the donors.
It is actually not unusual to have donor inscriptions at the entrance to ancient synagogues when you have mosaic floors. So I like to say that some things in Judaism haven't changed in the last 1,600 years, because if you go into a synagogue today, and I'm sure with churches as well, for example, the first thing that you see is, right, the list of the donors.
The professor goes on to say you don't have to be religious or a student of archaeology to understand the connection between then and what is now. There's a lot of talk these days about Indiana Jones with the new Indiana Jones movie just out. Something you may not know, Indiana Jones' boyhood home is actually located in Colorado, way down south in Antonito, about 4.5 hours south of Denver. And nowadays you can actually stay at Indiana Jones's boyhood home. It's now a bed and breakfast. Dan DeRue has a tour for us.
Of all the places in the world, who would have thought that Indiana Jones' boyhood home is right here in Colorado? That would be the southern town of Antonito. It's charming. I like it.
I do too. I've been here for almost 7 years. It's got cool little restaurants. It's got cool little shops in it. It's about 600 people here.
You could say Sabre Lynn is a fan of Indiana Jones, so much so she bought his childhood home and made a B&B, and here it is.
That looks like the original mailbox.
It is the original mailbox. I can't believe it's still standing here after 33, 34 years.
And this is exactly where the actor River Phoenix ran right into this house.
Yes, right here. And the door still slams. They filmed portions of the movie in the living room here, and then also portions in the dining room.
Once inside, disappointed an Indiana Jones fan you will not be.
This is the Cross of Coronado. This belongs in a museum.
So do you.
Photographs, autographs, even the original mailboxes here for fans of Indy to get their Jones on.
Spitting image.
Sabra considers herself a super fan of the series.
Choose wisely.
Choose wisely.
And she is.
My aunt would take us around on dinosaur digs and Indian mound digs. I didn't want to be an archaeologist. I just wanted the adventure part of it.
You'll come for the adventure and the B&B, but if you stop and listen, you just might hear Indy himself in this old house.
And who's going to come to save you, Junior? Don't call me Junior.
Dan DeRue, Fox 31.
If you have a story idea, you can send it on over to us. We want to hear about the positive things happening where you live, in your community. Just email newsdesk@WNCT.com. You can also reach out to me over on Facebook or on Twitter if you have a story idea. Still ahead on 9, on the positive side, one local veteran is helping other veterans who are disabled. How he's doing it all week long in a unique way. A 10-year-old in Colorado is defying the odds. Just last year, Carmen Wilkie started running track, and she's already breaking records. Gabby Easterwood has her inspiring story.
Carmen Wilkie, a 10-year-old with a lot of grit.
How do you feel?
Tired.
And in her first year, she actually set 3 national records.
Carmen was born without her left fibula, outside metatarsal, and pinky toe, leading to an amputation as a baby. But you'd never see it as an obstacle in Carmen's mind.
Has anything ever stopped you?
No.
Her and her dad, Michael, joining us from Nashville via Zoom, where she just got fitted for a new running blade. Carmen recently competed in the Endeavor Games and qualified in every event. So now they're off to Homewood, Alabama for nationals.
It's been a very exciting and fun ride. It's been crazy at times, but very, very fun.
It's serious stuff for Carmen, but she's just as excited about the friendships she's making along the way.
I love being out here, being able to meet other people like me with disabilities.
Meanwhile, Dad just wants other parents to know this outlet is available for kids like Carmen.
The biggest thing has just been access. There's a lot of kids in this community that have no idea that these events happen. I mean, there are records that are just blank right now because there's never been a child to compete in that event. And all these kids have these opportunities to do these really incredible things and get real validation and compete in real events that are put on very professionally. It's really empowering.
This only the beginning, because she's got some big dreams.
When I'm older, I want to be a Paralympic athlete in snowboarding and track.
There's a pretty clear path to them that we just keep at it, and she's there.
In Denver, Gabby Easterwood.
There you go.
Fox 31.
One nonprofit is hoping to help a disabled service member in Onslow County by sitting up in the clouds for a full week. Scott Burns is the founder of 7 Days for Troops. He's a double amputee veteran on a mission to help others just like him. From 15 feet in the air for 7 days straight, Burns is camping out in his tower to raise money for Camp Lejeune Marine Caleb Wells. Wells suffered a spinal cord injury last August during a motocross race, leaving him paralyzed from the waist down.
Navigating normal obstacles in this chair, I'm still learning how to do that. As far as like wheelchair skills, like getting over curbs or steps or navigating through sand, it's very tricky.
The goal is to raise $16,000 for a motorized all-terrain wheelchair for Caleb. Whatever is left over, we're told, will go towards the next service member who is in need. A veteran who was once stationed at Camp Lejeune is using his military training to help Ukrainians fighting for their country. When Russia invaded, Lance Zal says a Ukrainian friend asked him to come to Ukraine and help train Ukrainians willing to fight. Although it had been years since he served, Zal says he traveled to Ukraine to donate supplies and train people in combat techniques and first aid. He said many had no military experience.
Everybody had their own wishes and kind of dreams for the future. And I had a photographer, a dentist, my friend was a real estate developer. So these are people that did not want to fight any war, but they felt like they didn't have any choice.
Zal just came back from his 4th trip to Ukraine. Now let's head over to Illinois. A community there celebrated a big milestone for one of their own. They held a 100th birthday party for Max Poorman. Poorman is a World War II veteran who just loves his community. The New Haven Fire Department there hoisted a flag in his honor, and combat veterans held a motorcycle ride to honor Poorman.
Max, he is probably one of the kindest persons you'll ever meet. He very caring. He takes care of his community. He's an amazing, amazing person.
She says Poorman was very grateful for the celebration and everyone who came out to celebrate. Happy birthday. If you're looking for more good news, here's an idea. Go to WNCT.com. There you'll find these stories and more under the 9 on the Positive Side tab. You can find this all under features. It's what you're seeing right there. We also have our 9 on the Positive Side episodes there for you to rewatch if you want more good news in your life. A 14-year-old in North Carolina is breaking records. We'll have that story when we come back. Mentally tough. It served her well in the world of Taekwondo. And she's not just one of the best in the county there or even in the country. As John Lee reports, she's already one of the best in her weight class in the entire world.
The principles of Taekwondo are like a framework of words to live by.
It's just so great, not only physically, but mentally.
The tenets include focus, perseverance, and confidence.
Ready up.
What you can't teach is self-motivation, which vaults students to another level.
You're so passionate for the sport that you're just having a good time.
At WOW Taekwondo in Waxhaw, the WOW stands for Way of the Warrior. At 14, Crosby Goebel is a world-class competitor.
And you have to be very dedicated and focused. And you have to be in that moment. So when you're on the mat, you're training.
Crosby began learning Taekwondo 8 years ago and is now a third-degree black belt. She trains 6 days a week. In the past 2 years, she's become a dominant force, winning medal after medal at major events.
She's grown exponentially.
This year, she took gold at the USA National Team Trials. That secured a spot on Team USA. And Crosby is now ranked second in the world in her weight class. That's right, world. In the face of increasing pressure, Goebel's going global.
When you just get better, you're always just gonna get more pressure put on you. But like even right now, I still feel pressure, but it's just important to not pay too much attention to that. You just need to be doing this for yourself.
Later this summer, she has a shot at #1 at the World Championships in Bosnia. She's become a master at the mental part of the sport and visualizes victory in her mind before it happens on the mat.
I have to think about me fighting good, and I can't overestimate it, but I can't underestimate it. So I just have to see myself with a score higher than the other person.
She's really has transformed herself from going through those experiences of losing, going through those experiences of winning, and being able to put them to good use in order for her to get better.
She weighs less than 97 pounds, but brings the wow factor every time.
She believes in herself, and that's very important.
And her rise is the result of a regimen that would wear out most her age.
This is just my lifestyle, and I'm used to it. There's like really nothing else I'd rather do.
In Waxhaw, John Lee, Queen City News.
I love her positive attitude. Now over in Ohio, one day of the year in Northeast Ohio, an invasion happens. Yeah, you're looking at it. A normally quiet park is overrun with hundreds of barking guests. It's the annual Northeast Ohio Dachshund Contest. This year, nearly 700 people and more than 450 dogs had the run of the place. Wiener dogs of all shapes and sizes and their owners enjoyed a summer afternoon of just hanging out, shopping, and food. And yes, if you were wondering, hot dogs had to be served, right? The goal of the picnic is to promote dachshund rescue. The big draw every year is the costume contest, and once again, we're told it did not disappoint. And you can see some of those really cool costumes. I love how creative everyone gets. All right, and that's going to do it for us tonight for 9 on the Positive Side. Here's a turtle having a spa day. We can't forget to show you this. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you next time.